Здравейте. Hello to everyone. Hello. Iskrena. I'm very, very happy to say welcome to my first digital Reconnection series video. And I'm very happy to meet you in Lisbon today, 25th of May. And for the audience, that you know that Iskrena is a friend of mine from Bulgaria. She knows me since I'm very young violinist, and we have spent together also time in the studying time. We have been traveling through France and having orchestra experience, very important. And why I wanted to contact Iskrena is because I find her again 20 years later, after my studying at the music school, at the music conservatorium in Sofia. And since then we have more than 10 years very active contact about historical period performance, and that's why she will speak today for her research, for her work, for her playing. What brings us together is the story from Bulgaria, from the music, from the violin school, but also the historical research. I'm very big fan of Iskrena about her work, and I let her now speak with the first question. Would you please say just a few words about your memories from years ago about me?
Of course, it is very big pleasure for me to be able to talk about our friendship, which is already, I don't know, it's not easy to say how many years, but many years. We met, I believe, yes, in school, but then we had this wonderful experience of playing in the youth orchestra Pioneer under the baton of Vladi Simeonov, which was our mentor, great conductor and musician, and from whom we learned a lot about orchestra playing. Then we had some experience also playing in other youth orchestras. I remember in France, together, and then we lost each other for a very long period. And one day I was already living here in Lisbon, and we had this concert in
the festival for Journée.
In Centro Cultural de Belém in Lisbon, and I met
2004.
Okay, it's nice that you remember, because I didn't remember the year. And we met in the corridor.
Exactly.
And we were like, what are you doing here? and finally I understood that Malina went to study Baroque violin, and she plays in Germany with good orchestras there, and that was very, very nice to reconnect. So I was very happy also to be able to play with her in my orchestra Divino Sospiro later.
Me too.
And we did some very nice projects together.
Yeah.
And I hope our friendship and partnership will continue. Also on the side of musical research,
yes,
which
exactly.
I'm trying to...
Yeah. Look what is here. It's a very big one.
Well, I should have presented myself a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Present yourself and then speak about CD, about the book.
I'm a violinist, but I'm also a musicologist. I have a PhD of historical musicology, and my work, I play also Baroque violin, and I'm really aware of the historical practice, but then I'm the director of research of study center which studies 18th century music, Portuguese and Italian Baroque music at the Queluz Palace near Lisbon. So our center has its headquarters there, and we have different activities. For example, we have a project about the recuperation of the Portuguese repertoire for that palace. That is the serenatas and the operas which were performed during the 18th century. And then we have this beautiful publication called Cadernos de Queluz. This is the 4th volume, which came quite big. It's more than 800
really
pages.
Oh, yeah.
And it is edited by the publishing house Hollitzer from Vienna. Yeah, we have the 5th volume in preparation. It's already printing now. This one is called Padron mio colendissimo, Letters about Music and the Stage in the 18th Century. So it's about correspondence. Of course, correspondence is always very, very interesting source of studying the Baroque music and the theater and the opera.
Yes.
Because we find very valuable information in not only official letters but also in private correspondence. So it is very exciting book. I'm very happy about. And then this year the book is called European Theater Capitals, from Lisbon to St. Petersburg.
Wow.
So we have all like a road map that starts from Lisbon and ends in St. Petersburg. And actually you can see how Europe at that time was a big cultural net, and everybody is connected to everybody. So it is really exciting and interesting.
Yeah. Would you please say for us and for our friends that are looking at, since when you started these musical researches for you as a at your career?
I started this when I started to play and I started to be interested in the repertoire of Baroque music. Because it is inevitable when, and you know this personally, when you have interest in this repertoire, you start to dig in the libraries and in the archives and try to find more about these composers that nobody knows about, and how they were performed and how their life was. So I was really interested in this, and then it came naturally that I wanted to do something more profound. So I went to propose this PhD dissertation project, and it was accepted with pleasure. So I worked on it until 2013.
Okay.
So that was when I earned my PhD degree, and since then
you're very active.
Yeah.
Before we say a few words also about Divino Sospiro, would you mention something about Avondano, and also another project that I know from you about Scarlatti, which is maybe will be the new next our project, because it's very, very interesting for the people who don't know the connection with Portugal.
Well, there are two distinction things. Let's say Avondano was my first love, because he is the composer that I studied in my PhD dissertation. And he was a very interesting person, because he was a Portuguese composer, a violinist. He was born in Lisbon, but his father was Italian and his mother was French. So he was really cosmopolitan person and very, let's say, real European. But he was born in Lisbon and he died in Lisbon. And his music, apparently I discovered this during my research, his music was very famous and was printed in England and Germany and in Amsterdam. He was quite famous at that time. And his music is beautiful. We just recorded one of his oratorios, La Morte da Belle. and we presented it with very big success at Arsenal of Metz in France. So I'm really happy that we did that. Scarlatti is a different.
Just a second. Would you please say for the audience year that we should have as an orientation about Vundano, for example?
Well, he was born in 1740. So this is the year when Gluck and Jumeli were born, for example, and he died in 1782. So these oratorios are from the beginning of the 60s of the 18th century. And they are like in a early classical form. Another composer that I wrote about and I was very interested always about was Jumeli, actually, because he had a big connection with Portuguese court, and so there is a big legacy here in the Portuguese libraries about his work. Then Scarlatti is another very famous composer that everybody knows about his sonatas, but actually Domenico Scarlatti started his career as opera composer in Rome, and this is quite known. He did some projects for the Polish Queen Sobieska and for the cardinals like Ruspoli and Ottoboni. And then he came to Lisbon. He was invited here and awaited from the king and the queen of Portugal. And it is a very fascinating story. We just there is a book that just came out about this story of the architect Filippo Juvarra and Scarlatti that worked together in Rome, but then they had this plan to come to Lisbon and make opera. So this is the main reason Domenico Scarlatti wanted the place in Lisbon, because he was hoping to make opera here. So when he arrived, his first thing was he was invited to court to sing with, and the queen was accompanying him on the harpsichord. So he was also singing very well. And in the first year when he was here, he wrote about 10 serenatas. There was not opera house at the time, so the opera was more in a more informal way in the palace. But he wrote many pieces. Unfortunately, only one survived, and this is the one that I made the edition, which is called La Contesa delle Stagioni, the contenders of the seasons. It's about the 4 seasons, and it was written for the birthday of the Queen. So of course the season that wins is the autumn, because she was born in the autumn. But it's a very, very interesting story. Then of course the daughter of this queen, called Maria Barbara de Braganza, married the Spanish king, and she went with Scarlatti to Spain. And
such interesting details.
And also there he tried at the beginning to make opera, but the circumstances of the court there at that time was not very favorable. So because she was not yet the queen. It is a very interesting story.
Very nice.
I don't know if we had time to speak about it.
Before we speak about the Divino, just would you say how the people can find you? Of course, I will also put information in the YouTube channel. But if they want to order the books, to read, to contact you, which is the best way to contact
the books are on the website of Hollitzer. There is all the these Cadernos de Caluche series. Then there is our center of study has a website, and it's part of the Divino Sospiro website.
Okay.
It's www.divinosospiro.org.
Great.
So,
Great.
and then you can write, and things come
Very
straight
good.
to me.
Very good. I will put also the links in the video information. So, what about this CD? This is one of the last from Divino.
Yeah, this is
Who is
lockdown
Divino
CD.
No, tell us
Yes.
about who is Divino Sospiro, and especially about this production. What is?
Well, the Divino Sospiro is a Baroque orchestra from Lisbon that exists from 2004. And this is our last CD, which came out now at Easter time. This is the mezzo-soprano José Maria del Monaco, this is the first her work as a recital CD, let's say. And we did this in November 2020, and it was really a lockdown period. It is a very interesting project because we compare repertoire of Salve Regina, so about Mary, with Maria Maddalena, arias for Maria Maddalena. So this is Salve Regina of Alessandro Scarlatti, Domenico Scarlatti, Leonardo Leo, and then some arias from Porpora and Bononcini from oratorios dedicated to Maddalena. And actually on the CD this is her son, that at that time was not even conceived, but it is an interesting story. So the CD just earned 5 diapasons of Diapason magazine, the French magazine. So we are very happy about it, and we are hoping to continue the collaboration with José Maria.
Thank you very much, Iskrena. And just for you friends to know, we are just preparing another project with Divino Sospiro. We are going to take part of Handel Festspiele in Halle in the next few days with the Mozart version of Handel Messias. So thank you for watching us, and thank you again for the nice time together.
Thank you, bye-bye.